Welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal channel. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to brand new video. This is the latest Arsenal news and transfer news as well. Mikel ARTETA has been speaking about transfers and he says the squad is still short. We're still doing more. We are happy with what ARTETA has done, but right at the moment, this team is not complete yet and we're still working on models. How big is Arsenal's transfer strategy this summer? I cannot tell, but I can say that Mikel ARTETA has said with 3 or 4 signings done already, Arsenal are still not done. Arsenal is still going out there and they want to fill the squad. So Mikel has also asked the Cronkies to give him more money this summer, to which they've actually accepted, and that tells you everything you need to know. Let's dive into Mikel ARTETA's press conference in Singapore and Hong Kong to understand what is going on with the club. Obviously, pre-season is back. Very exciting, honestly, but as well, his comments on transfers and his comments on new incomings are very, very refreshing too. So on the Arsenal website, they're saying that the manager hosted a press conference at the Singapore National Stadium ahead of facing AC Milan on Wednesday, July the 23rd. He was asked about training in Singapore, the state of the squad, and how the new players are settling in, and the potential of further signings and more. And this is what he had to say. We are very excited to be here. He began. It's been an incredible welcome from our supporters here, and they're very, very passionate. We are adapting well to the context, the weather. We weren't able to train this morning, so we have to adapt to those situations as well. And they're saying that three of our 4 summer signings have traveled with a group that is Christian Mosquera, Christian Nogard, Kepa Arrizabalaga, and Martin Zubimendi are part of the squad. Noni Madueke will be joining training after his short break following the switch from Chelsea. Mikel ARTETA said the new arrivals have all added a fresh impetus to pre-season. And he says, it's like shaking the tree again and bringing new faces, he said. They bring new excitement and new level of energy as well. We signed very important players as well in very, very important positions. And again, everybody feels like their height has to go to a different level. And that's what we are seeking when we bring in these new players. I couldn't agree more with Mikel on that one. I think this is one of those summers where the club has just gone and done, transfers for players that are so important in very important positions. Like, to be honest, like Zubimendi, just Martin Zubimendi, requires you to raise your level if you are Mikel Merino, if you are Declan Rice, because that is where he plays. That is where his strength is. He can play in the 6, but he also plays in that left channel. And you think about Kepa and the way he's going to be pushing Raya. And you also think about someone like Christian Nogard. Yes, a signing that's a little bit undervalued and maybe underestimated, but we know the quality that he has and the Premier League experience. Noni Madueke is going to push Martinelli and possibly Eze and Trossard. And again, you have someone like Victor GYOKEREZ who just raises the bar through the roof. So it's exciting, but also it's a little bit tense. I think it's gonna be a lot of training just to keep your position. It's gonna be harder to keep your position in this Arsenal team as opposed to the way it was maybe last season or even a season before that. And Mikel has been saying that is what we are actually trying to that's what we're trying to achieve as a team. And he says ideally you want transfers done on day 1 in preseason. We've done very, very well so far. I'm impressed with the way the club is supporting and the necessities and the improvements that we required in the team. Andre Bata and the team have done an excellent job as well, trying to push everything forward. There is still a long time to go in the window. We have a lot of hope that we can still improve the team. We are going to continue to try and do that. Listen. I know Mikel ARTETA is ambitious, right? I know Mikel ARTETA is ambitious, but this level of ambition from Arsenal is acceptable, by the way. Thank you so much, Arsenal. The level of ambition is acceptable, but it is like palpable. It is I would say unprecedented. I would say never seen before. Well, Mikel has got a couple of signings, and these are, the players in preseason. Mikel has already got a couple of signings, and he's saying, well, I want to thank the club for supporting. I want to thank the club for doing this and that for me, but there is still time. We could still do more. Well, now, whether that is before, and he's considering GYOKEREZ as well, and he's considering Mosquera as well. But even if it's not that, this Arsenal team want Eze, this Arsenal team want Mosquera, this Arsenal team want, who else? Rodrigo, right? And Mikel's like, no, it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not bad, but we would love to do more. It's not bad, but we would love to see a little bit more, a little bit better. And that, for me, is the level of ambition I've always wanted to see from Arsenal, and I can't complain. I really, really can't complain. Mikel Arteta, they're saying that the boss wouldn't be drawn on specific potential new signings, but did just suggest further additions are being worked on. And says there is a long time in the window to go, and we are seeking. In terms of numbers, we are short. We have to improve the depth and the quality of the squad even further. He says we are constantly looking in the market, but until that happens, I can focus on the players that we actually have, work with them, and I'm very pleased with what I've seen so far in the first 10 to 15 days. This is, you remember when I told you that when Mikel Arteta had just come into this football club as manager, he was brutally honest. Is it healthy for you to be brutally honest always? In a PR perspective, as someone who understands PR, definitely not. Definitely not. Especially against your own brand. There are times when honest really works out, and brutal honesty really works out, and brutal truth. And there are times when you have to protect the image. It's his job. It's his job, right? But what I love about this is he goes, in terms of numbers, we are still short. No one is going to blame Mikel Arteta, because I want to tell you that transfers have shifted a little bit. I think we can now see a clear line where Arteta and Andre Bata have clear and specific responsibilities in the transfer window and in the team. But there is a lot of collaboration. Mikel can say, hey, can I get Noni Madueke, please? I like him. Do you think a deal is doable? And Arsenal look into the budget, and they're like, okay, if we signed Elanga, that would be 50 million. If we signed Bremo, that would be even above 50 million. If we signed Matheus Cunha, 60 million. So, yes, we can do for you, Madueke, right? But Mikel is being just honest, right? He's saying, this squad, I can work with, but I want more, right? This is not the same Mikel Arteta who was saying last season, I appreciate my players, I love my players, and I'm just going to work with them. And the reason for that, the reason that's why he's shifting his gears, is in communication, timing really matters. Last season, it was in the middle of the campaign. He wouldn't go, I hate these players. I want more players. I want new players. Like that would be damaging to that would be so damaging to the team, and remember we had an injury crisis and the fan base was punching each other. We needed someone to bring this together, and that was Mikel. And now when everything has come down, he can say, okay, I could use a few. I love the ones I have, but I could use a few additions. Could that happen? And then you look at the communication, is totally right. It's even exciting more now than it would have been, because all of us would have been like, what? Mikel Arteta doesn't trust the players we have, and we're here waiting to win the league? It's impossible. It's not happening. We would be panicking. Some players here, I don't know why Lokonga is still around. Mikel Merino, obviously. Gabi's back as well. I knew, the moment I saw Gabi, I knew that Saliba was next. Like, Arsenal do this intentionally. But you can see Leo back in training as well. Most of the boys that you recognize are back. Decas. Madrid don't want to see that picture, do they? Let's continue with Mikel Arteta and see what he's been saying so far. He was asked to reflect on his last visit to Singapore, representing the club when he captained the side to success in the Premier League Asia Trophy in 2015. And Mikel says, it's a great story. He smiled. Probably 10 years ago, I wasn't expecting to be sitting where I am. A lot has happened. I have great memories for the time that we had 10 years ago here. Hopefully, we can replace that. Train in the manner that we want commercially as well. Send the messages and the connection we want to the supporters. We have to perform in the matches. We have to perform in the matches to do it and win the games. Our supporters here are very, very passionate already. They're very, very excited to see the team. They haven't seen the team for a while, so leave it. Connect with them, as well as immersing in the culture. We try to understand the way they feel about us and make them proud. That's the objective. Okay. Then Mikel also talked about new signings, right? He also talked about the new signings and how they're actually settling in. So right there, they're saying that Mikel Arteta has said that his first impressions of his new signings have been very positive as we kick off our Asian tour. And he says they're saying we have added 4 players to the squad already this summer: Kepa, Nogard, Zubimendi, and Noni. And the boss was asked specifically about the latter two in his press conference on Monday in Singapore. Now, this was Mikel Arteta's response on the new signings so far, right? First, he said it's a long process, right? He said about completing the deal for Spain international midfielder Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. He had a lot of opportunities to decide whether he wanted to come. The good news is that the club is amazing and everybody wants to come here. He left some very good opportunities to come to us. Mikel says we are very, very impressed so far with what we've seen in the first 7 to 10 days. Once you have the player daily there and you see his character, his personality, his intelligence, and how much he's going to bring to the team, I'm very, very excited about it. Okay. I mean, he's not a bad speaker, Mikel Arteta, is he? He's a very, very good speaker himself. When it comes to Martin Zubimendi, the deal took a lot of time, honestly. It's a deal that really, really took some time. And some of us were like afraid that it could collapse. Now, anyone could say it wasn't really on the verge of collapse. It wasn't really on the verge of collapsing. Okay. But Mikel has just confirmed that he left some very good opportunities to play for Arsenal. We know that Madrid were, kind of digging a hole in the backyard garden. We know that Liverpool had used the first come first serve approach. Didn't work, but oh god, that almost worked, right? So this Arsenal team, we are told that started working on this deal last summer, and maybe that's what got us over the line. Maybe that's what Zubimendi respected and said, "I'm gonna be part of this team. I'm gonna be part of this Arsenal team. They're serious about me, and they have shown me real intention." Mikel Arteta on Noni Madueke, okay? I really want to get his reaction on Noni Madueke, right? So he was asked about Arsenal signing players from Chelsea and then, of course, Noni. And he said it's probably the reason on Arsenal signing players from Chelsea. He says it's probably because they have some great players and a lot of them there. But we try to focus on the players that we want to sign, regardless of the club they're in. It's probably a coincidence. It can't be a coincidence. Let's go on. What is not a coincidence is the squad and the quality of the squad as well. Well, I'm here as well. I congratulate them for winning the Club World Cup because I think it was a big achievement for them. I don't think Arsenal and Chelsea have a rivalry anymore. I really don't think that these two clubs having a rivalry anymore. Like it's scratch my back, I scratch your back, scratch my back, I scratch. That is the kind of relationship, honestly, that we are running with Chelsea. Do we have a rivalry with Chelsea anymore? I would be lying, and anyone would be lying if they said, they have a rivalry. We don't have a rivalry with Chelsea. We do not have a rivalry with Chelsea anymore. But he says there are great players over there. You see, the way he speaks about this used to be a London derby. I think, after all, football is changing. Anyway, Mikelata on Noni, he says that with Noni, I'm very excited. You've seen the reaction of all the players as well, especially the ones who know him very well. He needs a little bit of a break now, but he will be with us soon, showing what he's going to be bringing to the team. Okay. Well, I tell you, I am a little bit disappointed that we cannot have Noni Madueke as part of preseason. Not because I'm just so desperate to see what Mikelata really has in store for us when it comes to Noni Madueke. And, all the signings. For me, Martin Zubimendi's debut is going to be, quite interesting. Very, very, very nice. But I want to see the whole point of this Noni Madueke deal. What is the point? Why? Why Noni Madueke? Why did they do the Noni Madueke deal? Right? Not in a bad way, in a good way. I want to see it. Like, I'm ready to face the trade. The way we saw Mikel Merino last summer, and we're like, right? Maybe Noni Madueke becomes, an exciting player. Maybe he does.